So this nostalgia.
I think the cat just farted.
I think it was.
Look at Minnie. Yeah, it's probably Minnie. Let's take a look at her. Minnie.
Oh, honey. So I think
she's relaxed.
She's a good kitty. This is sort of a combination in nostalgia. All about, this one's dedicated to Natalie Straharsky, what's her last name now?
Krut.
Okay. Is it Krut or Krut?
I'm not sure. Krut?
Natalie, let us know. constructsnunchucks@gmail.com. Natalie's little sister?
Lisa.
Okay, so...
She has a new last name, too.
Good for her. I give a shit. She was mean to me, and here's the story. So Paul dated a girl named Natalie Straharsky, who was actually very tolerant, very nice person, very, like, that sort of, like, fairly typical teenage, like, nice to the younger brother kind of girl, like, very tolerant. She's actually, like, really got along well with Jill, and I think they're actually sort of friends at this point. I don't know.
They might be.
They were for a time, and actually, like, had met each other for dinner, or, like, maybe happened to cross each other in the same restaurant, or something ridiculous like this a few years ago. Anyhow, when I was about a budding young lad of 14, I'd say, Natalie's little...
Poppin' fresh boner.
What?
I don't know.
I don't even know what those things are. Never had an erection my entire life. Just so you know.
Until now. Ladies and gentlemen.
The freshest boner you'll ever witness. Should I try and sneak a finger boner into this nostalgia?
No.
Well, I've said it now. I can't unsay it.
You broke the fourth wall. With the finger boner.
Take two. Lisa something or other. So this nostalgia is Natalie's little sister.
After 2 minutes.
How's that for your cold opening? Anyway, I believe the chronology of events went as such. I had little pretzel. This is when Snyder's of Hanover started making, and that's Hanover, PA, by the way, just so y'all know. So you know. They started making their nibblers, little pretzels. My mom was a pretzel fiend because, you know, they're good for you as opposed to other salty snacks. And snalty snacks as well. Which, we're already talking about boners, so may I again reference my snalty sack? Anyhow. So, I took a bowl of pretzels for my 9 p.m. snack, and Mom and Dad were out. I think in obedience class, and so Paul was my appointed babysitter, and it was just me and him for whatever reason. And Jill was maybe at dance class. That's a pretty safe guess. And so I threw the pretzels in the bowl, put a slice of that, like, real bad American cheese, like yellow American, Land O'Lakes probably, and then, being the gourmet 14-year-old I was, put ranch dressing on it. And it was bad ranch dressing too, like generic, like goopy. You know what bad ranch dressing tastes like, Chuck's Chasers. It tastes like, oh my god, I think it was light ranch dressing, which is even worse. Oh my god. And I put it in the microwave to melt the cheese. Hot ranch dressing, melted cheese on pretzels, on the little sourdough pretzels, and I started to try to eat it. Paul came downstairs and said, "What is that smell?" And Paul, in a very rare authoritarian role, dictated that I need to eat the whole thing. So I believe I got myself a tall-ass glass of Kool-Aid, and in my memories, every nostalgia comes with cherry Kool-Aid. I don't think there was ever any other flavor in my mind for nostalgia.
Not that we made.
Or the tropical punch, maybe.
5-scoop Kool-Aid.
5-scoop Kool-Aid, which, reference that one. That's another one, search for 5-scoop Kool-Aid. Anyhow, so I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, trying to wash down this abomination I created. And Paul told me later, maybe that evening, because I think what he was on the phone, and I think it was probably with Natalie, and probably relayed to her that I had just created this horrible mess in the kitchen. And I think she said something to him that he relayed to me that went something to the effect of, like, that her little sister eats gross things too, like does sort of the same thing, like culinary experiments. So flash forward, same year, and I was pretty svelte in this day. I had just passed my first fat phase, but still ate like a damn hog. And we were at the pool, one of those weekday evening pool events that we had spoken of earlier. And saw Lisa Straharsky there, and Dad politely said hi and walked on. Jill said hi politely and walked on. I said hi politely and lingered out of pure politeness, thinking it was the nice thing to do, to strike up a conversation about how Paul had told me verbatim that she and I had something in common, or things in common. I forget how I phrased it. This must have creeped her, the math, out, because then I heard from Paul a few days later, like, dude, were you hitting... I mean, in our modern adult language, it would have gone something like, were you just hitting on Natalie's sister the other day? Because she told Natalie that, you know, you said... I was so embarrassed. And wanted to correct it. It's like a Curb Your Enthusiasm, where what I would want to do is go back and, like, talk to Lisa, like, call her house. Hey, is Lisa there? Hey, Lisa, when I said we had things in common, I wasn't hitting on you. But, so that's 2 nostalgias for the price of 1. I never was attracted to Lisa Straharsky, or any girl for that matter, at the age of 14, except you, Diana Young. You're my true love, one and only. Anyway, it was just an embarrassing, a week of embarrassing encounters, solely because of Paul's girlfriend.